Okay, hello everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm Suzanne from Wellness Embodied. Trying time, lots of stress from everybody, and I think even those of us that are still lucky enough to be working, and for physio is obviously seen as essential. There's a lot of an energy of anxiety and stress and so on going around, and we're feeling a lot of the stress and anxiety of other people. So what I'm going to touch on today, we've got kind of 15 to 20 minutes together. And this is something that you can watch back later. And what I'd probably advise you to do is even pause and take a little bit more time to tune into your body and so on, to take a little bit more time for yourself and release some of that stress and tension that you may be feeling in your body. But for now, what we will do is we're going to do a live body check-in, and some of this is some of the techniques that are in my online course, which is Free Your Fascia, Free Your Life. I'll post the link to that in the comments here as well. So that's $34.95, and it is lifetime access. So it's got lots of written resources, lots of self-craniosacral techniques, and lots of just body check-ins and ways of releasing tension. Because as we know from physio and also from craniosacral therapy, which I practice, our bodies hold a lot of emotional tension physically. So there's a really strong link between chronic pain and nerve pain and stress and anxiety. Really similar chemical changes within the system, and it's something that we're learning more and more about scientifically all of the time. The second thing that I want to let you know is at the end of this live, there will be a offer for any of you. Now, if you're not watching live, but you are watching a little bit later on, don't worry, we'll keep the offer going until Friday of this week. So that will be the 27th close of business. So, yeah. Anyway, for those of you who are watching live or tuning in later, what I'd love you to do is sit comfortably. So I'm in my office here, but I'm going to guide you through this. What I'd love is for you to be sitting comfortably, or even lying down if you're in a position to lie down. So if you're not in a position to lie down, you might want to tune in later and just lie down. And what we're going to be looking at is a quick little body scan. And then we're going to look at a couple of points which may release headaches. So headaches are a really big thing right now. TMJ pain, if maybe you're waking up with some face pain, you might be clenching your teeth in the mornings or when you're asleep and you're waking up with lots and lots of jaw pain, or you're waking up with headaches. Or maybe you've just got a bit of a headache at the end of the day, which is a situation that a lot of us are in right now. So just taking comfortable seating or a comfortable lying position. And we're going to start off by tuning into your body. So I'd invite you to close your eyes. And you're just going to come into your body through your breath. So taking a deep breath. Now when we take a deep breath, we're aiming to get our lower ribs out to the side. So we're breathing in. Daily for a count of between 4 to 6 and breathing out. And keep going. So trying to just lengthen your breath each time, and particularly trying to lengthen your exhale. So our breath is our only system that's under both our conscious and our unconscious control. When we aim to lengthen our exhale, which is our breath out, we're aiming to breathe out for a count of up to 8. And that really flips a switch within our brains just to calm our nervous system down. So wherever you are, whether you're sitting or lying, just paying attention to those lower ribs coming out to the side, out in front of you as you breathe in, and a nice long slow exhale as you breathe out. And then taking your focus away from your breath, I'm just going to invite you to focus on specific parts of your body. And I want you to imagine that you've got a little laser light. It's like one of those little laser pointers maybe that kids might use to terrorize their friends, or we might use to point at, say, something on a blackboard or point something out on a presentation. And just focus those little laser lights onto your big toes. Just feel the bottoms of your big toes. Feel what you can feel. Maybe one feels a little bit different to the other. Maybe you're not aware of any sensations there at all. Maybe one side feels a bit warmer or a bit cooler. Maybe there's some tension. And just like a little laser pointer, you're trying to identify or narrow down on that tiniest part of your toe. And then following with your laser pointer all out along your other toes, so spiraling around, just paying attention to the sensation in each toe. What can you feel? And like a little beam of light, just following that laser pointer all around your feet, so circling around your feet, paying attention to what you feel on each side. Paying attention to your ankles. Just tracking what you can feel in each shin bone. Maybe try and imagine that little laser light is drawing a line up along your shin bones. How does each side feel? It's perfectly normal for each side to feel completely different. And if you're watching later, you may want to pause the video here if you've got the hang of this laser light idea, or if you've got the hang of tuning into really tiny parts of your body. You may want to pause the video here. You may want to put on some relaxing music. But just for now, we're just going to take a couple of minutes to ourselves. And you're scanning all along your body. So you've got your little laser pointer, your little beam of light. Pick your favorite color. What color is it? What does it look like? See if you can focus in on any points where you've got pain or tension. Circling all up along your legs. And then circling around your torso. Nice circles, like that laser point is just hula hooping around your tummy. Circling round and around, under your ribs, all around your chest. And then down your arms, circling all around your arms. Then coming out the tips of your fingers. Just take a few moments here. Now, one of the things we notice when we do this and when you get quite proficient in body scanning is there actually may be parts of your body which feel completely numb, which if you focus in on them, you actually can't feel them. Maybe it feels a little bit different on either side. And this is totally okay. Sometimes it can be a sign of potentially like a past emotional trauma or something held within that part of your body. There's lots of different belief patterns around that. But we're not judging, we're just paying attention to what everything feels like. So those little rays of light are coming out your fingers. And then take that laser pointer and just draw your attention all around your neck. Maybe focus on the line of your jaw. What does it feel like on either side? I've got my fingers here for demonstration. You don't need to do this. You're just imagining how everything feels. How do your lips feel? How does your nose feel? How do your eyes feel? Do they feel heavy? Does one feel different? Maybe there's air to one side. Just that laser pointer circling all around your head, right up to the top of your skull. And just coming out like a little beam where your skull closed last when you were a baby. Just paying attention, hopefully your head may feel even a little bit lighter. And when you're ready to come back to the present, just opening your eyes again. Now that's obviously super quick, but I would encourage you to even take that few moments to check in as often as you can during the day at the moment. I will share in the comments, as well as sharing some stuff on our courses, I will share some information on my colleague Campbell, who is currently in New York, where he was meant to be coming back to Cairns in May. Obviously now very uncertain as to when he will come back to Cairns, but he is running some online breathwork through, I believe, his Instagram and his Facebook. So I'll share the handles of that with you as well. Because lots of really good ways that we can tune into our bodies and support each other and use this downtime maybe to become a little bit more connected and to try and take some measurements to ease our own stress right now. But yeah, the more you do that, the more proficient you become at it. So I can drop into a mode really quickly. I'm actually quite relaxed after doing that, even though I had to guide you guys. But yeah, I can drop into a mode really, really quickly where I can scan my body and where I can become quite aware of a certain part of my body. Now, where that's a really useful tool is in the point of view of pain. So if you've got a particularly sore ankle, if your knee is particularly sore, there's a couple of ways you may want to use this. So you may want to focus all of your attention, love, energy, etc. on that painful point. And you may begin to feel that pain dissipating. Or what you may want to do to take your mind off the stress and the tension and so on is actually focus on an entirely different point. So there's a psychology technique that sports psychologists recommend if you're doing something like a half Ironman, which is when you're running along and everything just hurts and it's horrible and you've got to keep running. They actually recommend to focus on your earlobes. So you can do that because pretty likely, hopefully, that you don't have a lot of pain in your earlobes, and just bringing your attention right to there is really, really useful as a technique, just a resetting technique. It's all just ways of becoming a little bit more body aware. But what I'm going to share with you guys now are a couple of headache release techniques. As like I mentioned, headaches and jaw pain are a huge source of stress. Now you'll notice I'm touching my face heaps. Used my hand sanitizer before, I'll be using my hand sanitizer after. When I teach this on our online course, I also teach you ways of connecting with a partner, connecting with their fascia, which is like the thin filmy covering on a piece of meat. Your fascia is something that covers everything in your body. It's a really lovely partner exercise to connect with someone else. Obviously, the climate that we're in right now, I would say stay safe, stay health safe. Obviously, right now, we are still okay to remain close to our, our family, our direct family who are at home with us, or our partners who are at home with us. But I wouldn't be running out now or in the coming weeks or months and practicing this on your friends, which is really unfortunate because we ran a beautiful workshop on this a couple of weeks ago and people really were able to tune into that connective tissue on each other and get some great results. But what we're going to be working at from a headache point of view is we're going to be looking at three bones today. So we will look at our frontal bone, which is this here. Light blue bone. We look at our parietals, which you can see your parietals are actually two bones, and they've got a nice suture at the top here, a connection at the top, and then at the back, that's the back of the skull, they are connected to the occiput. So they sit kind of roughly, without falling down, here and here. And then we're going to connect onto our temporal bones, which are here. So this is through an ear bowl. I will share a video which I made probably 2 years ago in the comments here as well, with some self-release craniosacral techniques. Really quick tutorial first of all. So to connect with our fascia, you imagine that you have got like a 10-cent piece. You imagine the weight of that in your hand. I'm using a key right now because I wasn't organized enough. So if we pop this key onto my hand, that's actually heavier than a 10-cent piece. But you can try this yourself later. That's the level of weight that you want, the level of pressure that you want. So when you connect with your fascia, with your soft tissue, you're just going to be really lightly resting your hands on the tissues. Now for this headache release, these headache release techniques, we're just going to really gently meld with the tissues. So with the frontal bone, we're trying to imagine that we are drawing the frontal bone slightly forward. So we're directing energy into it. We're connecting with the tissue. And then we're just imagining that the frontal bone is coming away. Really difficult to get the idea of right now, but give it a little try. So ideally, getting yourself back into a comfortable position where your arms have a little bit of support, so you're not like that. So if you're lying, that's ideal, but even sitting, what we're going to do is just pop your hands lightly onto your forehead. Go back to your breathing and just rest your hands as lightly as you possibly can. And you're just going to rest there. So you're not forcing anything, you're just resting really, really lightly and seeing how you connect with your tissue. Now do your hands feel like they're sticky taped onto your forehead? If they don't, that's totally fine and normal. So we're going to put a bit of energy through the hands now. So without changing the pressure on the hands, you're going to imagine that your hands are like fans. So like floor fans, basically. And you're going to imagine that you're turning those floor fans on and you're directing all of that energy from your hands into that frontal bone, so into your forehead. So fans are on, you're directing that energy forwards. And just seeing how you meld with your connective tissue there. Just sitting on the forehead. And if you've got a little bit of a connection there, you can try and imagine that you're trying to draw that bone forward. So you're taking a bit of that horrible pressure you're probably feeling right now from stress and tension out of your body. You're creating space at your forehead. Now, if you're still not feeling like your hands are particularly connected with your forehead, you might want to turn the fan off so you're not directing any energy there at all. Your hands are just resting. See if that gives you a better connection. And then finally, what you might want to do is imagine that you're turning the fans onto reverse. So you're drawing energy almost out of your forehead. Now, sometimes that will give you a better connection. If you're hot, if you're feeling particularly wound up, just connecting in and actually trying to draw some of that nervous tension out of your body, just envisaging that. You're not doing anything with your hands except resting them really lightly there and just imagining whether you're directing energy in or away. Once you get that connection, just getting the idea of drawing your forehead forwards using your hands. I'm aware this is all really hard to take on board quite quickly, so we've got the concepts of fans on, fans off, and fans reversed in terms of direction of energy, and then we're just taking that pressure off. But I will share this video in the comments as well. For the parietal bones, just to talk really quickly about that, what we're trying to imagine is we're melding with the tissue, and then the direction of pressure release is this way. So we are separating, we're not separating, but we're separating some of the fascia here and at the back here. So that's the direction of movement, is like that. And then finally, for the temporal bones, we do an ear pull. Now you're not yanking your ears. You're just connecting with your ears, and you are drawing your ears really gently out in multiple directions. Sometimes people go a little bit vigorously with this one, and you know, it can even be useful in the cases of jaw pain, and a bit of self-massage around your face and everything. Obviously really useful, particularly if you're waking up after clenching and you're getting lots of jaw pain. That's your temporals. So yeah, I'd encourage you to look at this again a little bit later. Obviously shoot me any questions that you have. Thanks, Megan, for watching the whole thing. Share around. I mean, this is just one way in which you can tune into your body. There's lots of other ways, but I will share some videos and so on in the comments here and some links. If you are an existing or a past client of Wellness Embodied as well, we do have a VIP group. If you have never gotten your invite to that on Facebook, let me know and I will flick you the group link, and you can hop in there, and it's a really safe space to ask us any questions and help each other get through this really tough time. Now, offer, great, cool. So I would love to be able to connect with 3 people on a one-on-one basis, to be able to work with this on a video link and show you how powerful it is to tune into your own body. So maybe you have a bit of a long-standing pain, maybe you're getting headaches, maybe you just need to relax, right? Whatever, that's cool. So what I would love you to do is send us a Facebook message to the Wellness Embodied page with your email address, and I will pop you in the draw and let you know on Friday if you've got one of those free consults. So we'll do between a 15 and a 30-minute consult. There's no obligation. This is just a really lovely way for me to give back, and also to play with how powerful these techniques are. So as I mentioned, I ran a workshop called For Your Fascia, For Your Life for International Women's Day, which is only about 2 weeks ago and feels like several lifetimes ago. And it was really beautiful to see how people could connect with each other, but also build that body awareness themselves. It's another tool. Like as a physio, say treating headaches and jaw pain and so on, I'm very hands-on, and doing a physio video consult, I would operate it quite differently. But this is one way of connecting in with your body and alleviating some of that stress. So this is going to stay open. I will share the live on our Facebook page as well. Like I said, please share around with anyone who might feel it useful. Love to hear your feedback. Love to hear comments on anything else you might like to see on our live Wednesdays, which are going to be at 12 p.m. each Wednesday. I think Eliza might be doing next week and Clara the following week, but stay tuned with our events, and we'll be doing a range of different kind of physio and stress relief and pain relief topics and so on. In the meantime, hope you're staying safe and well. We are open as allied health, contrary to what some mistaken media are reporting. It was actually said that we are allowed to stay open and we are an essential service. We're really pleased to do that. We're also really pleased, though, to offer video consults to people who are in need, and just to continue trying to give back to our community as much as we possibly can at this stage. So please reach out if you need. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great day.